Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another heartfelt episode of Diatribes with the voice of Boone. Now, here's your hematocritic and heavy handed voice of Boone. Excuse the rough intro. I'm still getting over a little bit of a sickness. Not exactly. Oh, my candle went out. How unfortunate. But it seems like that's going to be the theme for today because I've got a lot to get through. Um, I'm a little bit ill, so I gotta spray down this Chromebook um, once I'm done. You know, it's actually kind of funny. I bought my dad this Chromebook mainly because I know how important this YouTube thing is for him, but also because I really don't want him giving my computer a virus, and I don't know if he would do it on purpose, but I'm too paranoid to do so. Before I jump into it, I did just want to actually show you guys something. I think it's kind of humorous. So this is a shopping list that I have on my phone. I took a photo of the real thing. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oh man. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, it says Max's food list. He's got all these emojis, and he has this thing. He has a title. It's all in caps, and then he says thank you so much, and a smiley face and all that. And then and then below it just says dad coffee generic. I just think that's kind of, there's got to be something satirical about that. All he needs is coffee, whereas my dearest dearest sibling wants all these cool things, and he's got a lot of flair to it. He even dated it. That's kind of funny. As if as if you gotta have a works cited page for it or something. So first thing I wanted to say is that I actually did get a couple details wrong about my last video. Elizabeth Holmes has not yet had her second child, but at the same time, she's kind of stuck in limbo because in California, I do believe that you can have an abortion with virtually no consequences. So if she does decide to abort the baby, she's going to piss off a huge group of people. If she decides not to, she's going to also piss off a huge group of people. So essentially, she can do no right at this time. Um, yeah, so it's not born yet, but she is hoping to get out on bond pending her appeal, or while she is going through her appeal. I don't know how many appeals she has. Sometimes you have a very small number. Sometimes you have a large number. I am just genuinely not sure about California. However, it would not surprise me if one appeal fails and then she immediately files another one and asks to be placed out on bond because she keeps on wanting to push the starting line further and further away. So I genuinely hope that whatever her support group is, she thanks them every single day because she's got nothing now. Genuinely has nothing. No reputation, no company, probably no money to herself. She's probably all relying on her parents and her husband and what other people she still has in her fold. So I hope that they know how important they are in her life and how lucky she knows she is to have the good fortune to have them. As a Buddhist, I do believe that we live multiple lifetimes and that you take on karmic retribution from many of the ones before. So clearly, she's had some good karma in the past to have such a support group now. I do hope you find my noises not too disgusting. I'm filming this when I'm getting over a sickness still. So I wanted to talk about transgenderism, trans people, transsexuals. I'm not really sure on the proper term. First of all, I just wanted to say that I consider them sexually disabled. That's what I consider them. Why do I consider them so? Because if you are born in a body where you don't feel sexually like, if you were born in a body where you don't feel in which you don't feel sexually attached, you don't feel like that is your body, you are essentially disabled. When you were born with four fingers instead of five, you were disabled. When you were born with a dissociative personality disorder, you were disabled. When you were born, with I can't remember the exact word at the moment, but when one of your bones or one of your organs or one of your like part your organs in your brain just isn't functioning quite as much, you are considered disabled. So for me, there's no reason why someone who feels like they were born in the wrong body should not be labeled as sexually disabled. That's just my opinion. Now, that being said, I don't think that being disabled is a bad thing. I've never understood why people feel like being disabled is a bad thing. You do not, virtually whatever you do does not, nobody wants to be disabled, but at the same time, sometimes they have no choice. Now, you can be temporarily disabled or permanently disabled. No matter what, you have to deal with the hand that you were dealt in life, and sometimes it's not fair, but at the same time, virtually everyone has a worse experience than someone else who thinks that they have it worst. Um, you can always go down a peg in life no matter what. I don't know if it was actually a factual story, but I did hear of this I guess sonnet or story of some kind where this man was crippled virtually all of his appendages during a war. He lost his hearing, he lost his sight, he lost both his arms, his legs, I think possibly his ability to taste, and so he was essentially just this torso with this head that he was barely able to function in any sort of way. And what he was finally able to do was he was able to nod his head in binary, and the first thing he said was, "Please kill me." I think it really doesn't get much worse than that. But I'm sure, I sure wouldn't be surprised if someone were to tell me a story that was 10 times worse. So, with that little thing out of the way, I really do want to make this video short, but I was reading through Facebook, like us Gen Zs do, and I, I came across this post, and I can't really show it to you now. I wish I could. This story doesn't adequately represent, in my opinion, but it was this post, and it was two photos basically and a caption. Now, the first photo was on your left, and it was of this man like in this pristine white shirt, khakis. He had a belt, he had a vest, he had some sort of cowboy hat or some sort of like, I guess, manly hat, if you want to call it that. And the photo succeeding it to the right was a man in about knee-length shorts. They ended to about here, like just above my knee. They were tight jean shorts. He was wearing a colorful polo. He had his long-ish. I don't think it was longer than mine. My hair is pretty long, shoulder-length hair, I suppose, in a man bun. He was wearing sunglasses. He had a beard, and he was wearing flip-flops. And the caption was, "Sometime between 1955 and 2020, something went very wrong." Now, I know this adequately doesn't represent, but the joke, quote unquote, is basically saying that men don't dress manly anymore. They don't dress masculine. They don't dress. They dress like women, I believe is the joke, and it just rubbed me wrong. Now, I know that this video is probably going to be titled "The Gen Z's Opinion on Transgender People," and this obviously is not really a transgender person. I mean, I think a transgender would more so be wearing something like makeup or a wig or a gown of some kind, something that's associated more with femininity. But I wanted to talk about this post because I genuinely don't see what the problem is. Maybe I'm just arrogant about all of it. Excuse me, sorry. But to me, how is a colorful polo shirt, short shorts, and flip flops, and having your hair in a man bun dressed like a woman? Please tell me how. I genuinely am interested in any sort of evidence that anyone could provide, because to me, when a man dresses up like in a suit or in a tie and a tuxedo, or like shiny shoes or whatever, it just shows that he cares about his appearance too much. And I think that the guy in the right photo, the guy wearing the colorful stuff and the women outfit, clearly is more interested in his own life than whatever people think. And that, I think, is the manliest thing of all. You're interested in your family, you're interested in bettering yourself, you're not interested in other people's business or what they think about you. And I have a big problem with that because I do care about what people think of me, and I'm trying to slowly blend my way out of it, but it is difficult. Um, yeah. So I just think that it was wrong, and so I posted a comment, and I said, basically on the post, I can't remember exactly what I said, but yeah, something did go wrong. People started taking unconsented photos of men who clearly have better things to do than to dress the way that you want them to. And I hit post, and unfortunately, I waited for replies like people shouldn't. I really need to uninstall Facebook or get into something else or start reading more news articles to, fulfill my need of scrolling through this thing. But I waited, and as soon as I saw a notification that someone replied, I clicked on it. And the reply was from this old woman, I guess, and the reply was, then they shouldn't dress like women. And so now I'm really furious almost because, again, how is a man wearing shorts? He's got everything covered. It's not like he's wearing a bra or a skirt or high heels and a colorful polo that's kind of tight around his gut. And the shorts are kind of tight, and he's wearing flip-flops, and he's got his hair in a man bun. How is that dressed like a woman? It's not. You gotta stop being so freaking strict about what people look like. It's infantile. You're a bunch of babies. I don't own any of that type of wear. Most of the time I'm wearing cargo pants and a flannel because I'm always working all the time and I need work clothes. I don't have time to be dressed up in a freaking white shirt with no stains and pressed iron pants and dress shoes. Who gives a crap? I don't. My cat's over here. He's staring at me. I don't have time for that, and I think anyone who goes out of their way to is more feminine than any other man. This video is already getting long. So I said back to them, I said, how is our shorts, a colorful shirt, and sandals dressed like a man? And if you're not going to provide me with any, or no, that was later. I said, how is this, and this dressed like a man? And then I also said, I think it's more emasculating to go out of your way to dress in a way that doesn't represent you, or like you're going out of your way to impress people and dress like a stereotype. You're dressed like the Harrison Ford, or you're dressed like, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr., or you're dressed like a typical man wearing a suit and tie and hat and shades and pressed pants and shiny shoes, or you're wearing work boots, and you're wearing a flannel, and you're wearing a vest, and you're wearing a big coat. Whatever men wear, I don't know. And so I pressed post. And then another person replied back saying, lol, you're kidding, right? And they had like a laughing emoji. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm not kidding. My replies were already pretty long. They were like, strings and strings of well, they weren't too long, but it was definitely a couple sentences. And considering that on Facebook most people reply in 2 or 3 words, I think it was pretty long. And so I don't know why anyone would think that I'm kidding. By the way, this did happen actually a few months ago, and I haven't gotten around to flushing it out, but this actually seemed to be pretty long. I was hoping to be sub 10 minutes, but I'm not doing myself any favors by ranting. So she said, lol, you must be kidding, and I replied to her saying, no, I'm not kidding, and if you're not willing to provide any evidence, then there's nothing left for us to do but to accept that we have different opinions and move on. And I pressed post, and no one replied to me, and I think that the creator might have actually deleted the post. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it was too controversial. Maybe they just didn't want it there. I don't know. The post isn't there anymore. I can't find it. So that's that. That was my tirade on this post. I personally really feel like people are making a mountain out of an anthill. A mountain out of an anthill. Because men should be able to dress whatever way they want, and women should be able to do the same. I'm not saying you should be able to go into elementary schools with like a full-on beard, but you're wearing a dress and you're wearing a... You can't throw kids into the deep end like that quickly. Okay, especially like when you stand out like a sore thumb among all the other teachers. But at the same time, if as soon as you're out of school and you want to dress up the way you want to dress up, go for it, all right? Your school district can't dictate the way you dress. I just realized that the audio isn't actually on its highest, so hopefully you're able to hear me. So, I don't know. I think my opinion on sexually disabled people is things in this country have changed. We evolve our successes the same way that we evolve our problems. All right? As our solutions get better, our problems get worse. All right? Simple as that. And that metaphor can be applied to a lot of things. All right? It can be applied to war, the economy, the education system. Think about what you were learning in high school versus what these kids are learning now. I had to learn about imaginary numbers when I was a junior. All right, and I try to have one of the English teachers help me, and she has no freaking idea. So don't give me this crap. It's like, oh, America, things have never been worse. Of course, it's never been worse. What, you expect it to get better as time goes on? Whatever. I can go down a whole nother rabbit hole again on that, even though I already have, and I thought that my video was adequate. But transgender people are not just this, thing that you need to nip in the bud and they'll go away. All right? It is a real mental condition. All right? You think that people go out of their way for attention? Of course they do. All right? But some people don't post it on social media. They just do it for a rouse. All right? And that in and of itself is a mental condition. All right? People don't understand. If your kid comes up to you and says, Dad or Mom, I identify as a dog, and you're just gonna freaking treat them like a dog, or you're gonna like freaking like slap them or hit them with a belt or say, what are you thinking? How can you ever? Your kid has a disability, and it is gonna. You better freaking take it seriously, all right? Because it's not just gonna go away like you see on freaking social media posts or freaking in movies. Movies used to make fun of people like that. Guys that acted gay, metrosexuals, women that acted like lesbians. They used to get made fun of, all right? You can't do that anymore because people are waking up. You can't solve a problem just by ham-fisting it, all right? And if you are a person that has all your ducks in a row, none of your family members are sexually disabled, you have nothing to ever question about yourself, you better start doing your part too, because it's coming for you. All right? If not your kids or your grandkids, your great-grandkids. All right? And you better develop some kind of social group or some kind of awareness to be understanding about it, or else they're going to hate your guts. Because I hate these people that ham-fist them, and I'm not even related to them. And I know it's easier to hate people that you don't know, but that's not the point. The point is that people are people, all right, and they're allowed to have problems, and they should be allowed to dress the way that they want without having people take photos of them and post them on social media and be made fun of. That would be a nice world to live in where you didn't have to worry about that, but we do. All right, and that's one of the reasons why I want to be an attorney one day, because I want to defend those people that are getting lambasted, who are in the minorities. So, what do I think about the actual way that they put themselves out? Well, if you look back to Roman times and you look back to the Fifth Crusade or whatever, what were men wearing? They were wearing robes. They were wearing gowns. They were wearing tunics. They were wearing dresses. And if you look, and this is actually what my dad told me, and it got me thinking. If you look at animal species, typically the more colorful, vibrant, and like just beautiful looking ones are males. They have to be so that way they attract females, because females are naturally attracted to men who know how to take care of their bodies and know how to take care of themselves. And it's basic instinct, I suppose. So I'm going to try to leave it at that. But in summary of what I've been trying to do with Better for the World, I've been trying to recycle my canvas bag so that way I don't use so much plastic. That's been going well. I've been trying to limit my cheat days with my diet. In fact, me and my friends actually had a fun day in Reno. Went to a show. We went out to eat. We went to the mall, and I felt almost sick with all the junk food that I was having, and they were just having the time of their lives. So it really shows like all the vegetables and stuff that I've been eating has really helped. Um, and as for what was my third thing? Buying American. It's been going good. I've been trying to buy more from thrift stores and just buying from local places and using cash, by the way, to do so has felt really good. A lot more business owners have been happy because if you didn't know, every single time you use a credit card or a debit card, there's a fee that they have to pay. All right, think about that the next time you're at a mom and pop's place. All right, pay with cash. Cash is king. This video is getting very long, and I didn't mean it to, but I hope that you got something out of it. This is just my opinion. I'm 23. I'm not going to pretend like, I understand sociology or I understand biology or anything like that. This is just the way I see it. This is the way that I think the world is going regardless. And I think the best thing to do is to just mind your own business, let people dress the way they want to. If they impact your business or if you're a government employee, it is your job to find the solution that works best for your team, not the rest of the world. So, thank you for watching and stay positive.